Welcome to part 1 of the Design Portal BootCamp lesson on groups. Groups are useful for representing organizations and apps, and clans and guilds and games. Groups is a major feature of brainCloud and it's a big topic, so it makes sense to break it up into 2 parts. This first lesson on groups is going to focus on creating group types and then creating and customizing the groups themselves. From the dashboard, click Design, then Groups, followed by Group Types. brainCloud Groups is a general purpose term used for organizing users in your game or app. How you want to organize those users and how many types of groups you want is completely up to you. To create a group type, click the New Group Type button. Give the group type a name. We'll call ours Clan. Then set the maximum size of the group. 50 users is the largest a group can be. We'll set our max to a modest 10 users. The next option is called On Owner Delete. It's basically what is to be done of the group if the group owner's profile is deleted. The 2 options are assign a new owner and delete the group. The final option is called On Member Leave. Essentially, what happens to the group entities that the user created and owned? Are those entities kept or deleted? The answers to these 2 options will depend on how you intend to use groups in your game or app. Click Save. Our group type is created. Let's explore some of the Group API requests in the API Explorer. On the left, click Cloud Code, then API Explorer. Click Execute to authenticate the user. From the Service drop-down list, select Group. From the Operation drop-down list, select Get My Groups. A player in brainCloud can be a part of several groups. This request doesn't take in any parameters and will return all the groups that the user is a part of. Click Execute to make the request. In the response, notice that this user has not joined any groups. They have also not requested to join any groups or been invited to join any groups. From the Operation drop-down list, select List Groups page. This request will return all the groups for the requested group type for the brainCloud app. In the Parameters section, set the group type value to Clan. Click Execute to make the request. In the response, notice that the items array is empty. That's because there aren't any groups that have been created yet for this brainCloud app. Let's create a new group now. From the Operation drop-down list, select Create Group. In the Parameters section, give the group a name, and then set the group type to Clan. The next parameter is called IsGroupOpen. By default, the value is set to true. If set to true, that means that any user of your app can join any group. If set to false, that means that the group owner needs to approve a user's join request before they can join the group. Next is the group's ACL. Its default value is 2, which stands for public read-write. The next 4 parameters allow you to set the owner and member attributes and some data. It's okay if you don't set these now, as they can be set later using different requests. Click Execute to make the request. The group has been created. From the Operation drop-down list, select Read Group. This request will return all the information about the group, including the group's name and type, the list of the group's members and pending members, summary data, additional data, the group ID, and the owner ID. This is the profile ID of the user that owns the group. In the Parameters section, we need to provide the group ID. In the response, copy the group ID from the Create Group response data. In the Parameters section, paste in the group ID. Click Execute to make the request. Now that a group has been created, let's relook at the Get My Groups and List Groups page requests. From the Operation drop-down list, select Get My Groups. Click Execute to make the request. Notice in the response that the user now has a group returned in the groups array. From the Operation drop-down list, select List Groups page. In the Parameters section, set the group type to Clan. Click Execute to make the request. In the response, notice that the items array now contains the group that we just created along with some information about the group, including the group name, group ID, and how many members are in the group. If you want to know which users are in the group, you'll need to make the Read Group request. Let's customize the group a little bit. First, we'll change the group's name. From the Operation drop-down list, select Update Group Name. In the Parameters section, paste in the group ID that's still saved to the clipboard. Then set the new group name value. Click Execute to make the request. The group name has been changed. Now let's add some data to the group. From the Operation drop-down list, select Update Group Data. In the Parameters section, paste in the group ID. Then set the version to -1 to auto-incremented. In the data field, set the JSON data object. We'll simply use it to set one field, the clan tag. Click Execute to make the request. The group's data has been updated. From the Operation drop-down list, select Read Group Data. In the Parameters section, paste in the group ID. Click Execute to make the request. This request returned the data that was just set a moment ago. On the brainCloud Design Portal, we have the ability to see the groups that your app's users create. On the left, scroll down and click Groups, then click Groups. On this screen, you have access to every group that's created for your game or app. Clicking a group will pop out the side pane. You can view the group's name, type, its members, invites, and requests to join the group. You can also view the data and summary data along with each user's custom attributes. Finally, and we won't be doing this, but you can delete the group from this pane as well. Part 2 of brainCloud Groups is the next lesson in the Design Portal BootCamp.